Alright guys, so today I'm going to share 5 editing tips to help you improve your sports edits. This is kind of a part 2 to my other video about filming tips, so make sure you go check that out if you haven't already. I'm going to keep posting helpful videos like this pretty consistently, so make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. But let's get into the first tip. So my first tip is to grab the audience's attention in the first 5 seconds. In today's day and age with social media, you realistically only have 5 seconds to catch the viewer's attention before they swipe past your video and on to the next piece of content. This makes the first 5 seconds the most important part of your entire video. I highly recommend starting off with your best clips. So whether that's the best cinematography and framing or the best play of the game, such as a dunk or even just an emotional clip where the player is saying something to the camera, reacting, screaming, anything like that, just to grab the audience's attention. One issue that I spot in a lot of edits are intros that drag on full of random slow motion clips in the player and warm-up lines. These kind of clips serve no purpose and will likely lead the viewer to swiping past, because you have to ask yourself, why is someone watching this video? It is likely either because you're making a really cool edit or because they want to see the player's highlights. This means that you, 1, shouldn't start with clips that aren't your very best, and 2, linger on stuff that is not the player's highlights. So focus on game action, emotion, and your most visually appealing shots. One of my favorite ways to grab the audience's attention is just through a fancy transition and then getting right into the game action. If you consistently think about drawing the audience in the first 5 seconds, you will avoid making boring edits. The second tip is to use effects appropriately. I think that overlays and transitions can be a great way to add a lot of spice to your footage. Take a look at this video I made for the Celtics to welcome back Jaylen Brown after he signed his contract extension. I'm going to first show it to you with overlays, and now without the overlays. The second version seemed a little less energetic and didn't hide the transitions and cuts from scene to scene as well. I think these flashes did a great job of really spicing up this edit and keeping it more visually appealing throughout. If you're interested in getting those exact overlays that I used in that video, I have a pack linked in the description, so go check it out if you're interested. However, I do think that overlays and pre-built transitions can be easily overdone, so please use them sparingly. I've gotten so carried away with effects and overlays before that I can't even watch back some of my old videos without getting a headache. One effect that I do think you can use throughout every video, and honestly as much as you possibly can, is a match cut. All a match cut is just matching the composition, framing, or camera movement from one clip to another. These act as more subconscious transitions that can really add a lot of flow to your video and allow you to seamlessly transition from scene to scene. However, at the end of the day, it is all about your taste and what the video calls for. If I'm going for a hype video that is meant to hype people up and get them energized about a season or a game coming up, I'm likely going to use a lot of overlays and effects because I want to communicate that energy and enthusiasm into the video. If I'm making something more slower and cinematic, like maybe a game recap or something longer like a documentary piece, I am definitely not going to be using effects because I want it to be more focused on the story as opposed to the highlights. So at the end of the day, you just have to ask yourself what this video calls for and then use effects accordingly. So my third tip is to have a purpose for each shot. This is related to the first clip because a lot of this has to do with the intro. However, it's a little bit more specific than that. Let's use my boxing video as an example. So first I used the exterior of the gym. This is an establishing shot, and I wanted to show the viewer where this event was taking place. So using this shot outside, as well as the warm and cool colors, I just think it was a good shot to open on. And then I'm cutting to a wide shot inside the boxing gym to showcase the crowd and the ring in a symmetrical position. And then from here, I'm showing shots of people warming up and getting ready for the fight. And then the bell rings and then the fights happen. So as you can see, I clearly had a reason for each shot. I wanted to clearly take the viewer through a progression of showing them where it is, showing them the inside, and then showing people getting ready for the fights and then the fights. I think this makes a lot more sense than if I had a punch and then I come back to a warm-up shot and then another punch and then the end and then coming back. A good edit relies on having good footage, so make sure you're capturing a lot of establishing shots and shots of warm-ups as well as a lot of game action from different angles. And one thing that I never used to do but I've now realized the importance of is capturing conclusion shots. So shots of people leaving the gym, leaving the event, the coach talking at the end of the game. These are all great ways for you to wrap up your videos and leave the viewer satisfied. My fourth tip is sound design. So this is honestly one of the most overlooked things in sports edits. I'm definitely a culprit of this. I used to not put any effort into my sound design, but sound makes up half of your video. So there's the visuals, but then the sound can really separate a good edit from a great edit. Sound design encompasses more than just adding a song below your video. It's about using the diegetic sound, which is what you record on scene, and using that audio as well as added sound effects such as whooshes, risers, or other sound effects that you can download online. I think using a combination of these will really elevate your videos. Even if you're just starting out in sound design, a simple thing you can do is just use that diegetic sound. I think that is definitely better than nothing. But then an easy little thing you can do is for transitions. I love adding a subtle little whoosh effect and then just get creative with it. So I think if someone's walking, add some footsteps or add some birds chirping if it's outside. Just get creative with it, and sound design can really be a lot of fun. My last tip, and arguably the biggest tip, is to emphasize emotion in your videos. The most impactful and long-lasting thing you can do in a video is evoke emotion in the viewer. I still go back and watch videos that I saved that have made me feel something, whether that's happy, sad, excited, amped up, anything that makes me feel some type of way that I see in my social media feeds, I save. The fancy edits are cool and the transitions are cool and I do them and I think they're great. However, there is a time and place. If you want to make something that's going to stick with somebody and that they're going to keep thinking about after they swipe on to the next video, you need to evoke emotion. A couple ways to incorporate this into your video are through the correct music choice. So if you want a sadder piece, you go with piano or something similar. If you want something high energy, you go hip hop or EDM, something like that. And then the other part is just picking emotional clips. So my favorite shots that I've ever gotten have always been players yelling at the camera, trash talking, yelling at each other. Anything that just shows their emotion will automatically make the viewer feel that too. So obviously this is a little bit out of your control. However, when you do get this footage, make sure you use that to your advantage and match it well with the music. So that's basically a wrap on my 5 tips to help improve your sports edits. To recap, you should hook the viewer in the first 5 seconds, use effects appropriately, have a purpose for each shot, use sound design, and emphasize emotion. I hope these tips helped. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and please subscribe to see more videos like this. And thank you guys for watching.